Hey y'all, Lexi with Helix Stitchcraft here. Today I present to you the Spark, a modern granny square tutorial. I wanted to start with this one of the 4-part Spark series of tutorials I will be putting out over the next couple of months, so that you can utilize this square either for washcloths or up to a blanket if that's what you choose to make from the square or mini squares that you make. I wanted to keep it simple. I did not detail the beginning. I'm using a 4mm hook and some peaches and cream cotton yarn, and making washcloths is my intent for these ones, for the Stitcherhood donations. With that, you can use any yarn you want, any size hook that feels appropriate with your yarn, whatever suits you to that purpose. And I kind of jumped pretty quickly straight into the tutorial, so let's get going, okay? I hope that you are looking forward to creating whatever it is that you are set to create here today. And please feel free to share with me either email or on my community tab. I would appreciate that. I hope that you guys are out there living your lives to the fullest because it's all happening. Here you go. Choose your yarn and your hook, and we are going to do a double magic ring. So I'm wrapping my fingers twice. And then I'm going to go in here and do a slip stitch and cinch that down. And now I'm going to do a single crochet into that ring. And then I chain up 2. This counts as my first double crochet in my first granny cluster. So there's my second double crochet, third double crochet, maybe. And now we're going to chain 2. There's another granny cluster, so 3 double crochets. There's 1 and 2 and 3. That makes for 2 granny clusters in our magic ring so far. We're going to chain 2 and do another granny cluster, 3 double crochets. There's 1 and 2 and 3, maybe. We're making a square here, so we're chaining 2 and doing our 4th granny cluster. There's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. Now I'm going to pull my yarn out just a little bit and show you how to cinch this ring. Pull your tail up between the 2 pieces of yarn, cinch so that you see which one pulls tight first, and then you're going to grab that tight one and pull that down, and then pull your tail to cinch that down. Now hold your tail out of the way. We're going to close this corner. We're going to close this corner by yarning over, finding the top of our first double crochet, and we're going to do a half double crochet to close the corner. And then into that corner, a single crochet, chain 2, and then a double crochet into that same corner, second double crochet. That makes actually for our 3rd double crochet. And into the next corner, we're going to do 2 granny clusters in this corner with a chain 2 between. So here's 1 granny cluster, chain 2, and another granny cluster in the same corner. We're going to repeat this in the next corner. I'm struggling a little bit. Alright. And here's our second corner we're beginning. Granny cluster. So 3 double crochets. Chain 2. 3 double crochets. Now repeat in this last corner. Granny cluster, so 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 double crochets. Now into that first corner, we're doing another granny cluster. There's our second double crochet and third. And then find the top of your first double crochet and half double crochet to close the corner. Now, same as before, single crochet into that corner, chain 2. That counts as your first double crochet to that cluster. So there's your second and third double crochet. Now here's where it changes. When we come to the center, we're going to do 1 double crochet and now a treble that we are going to reach down to the center double crochet from the row before. Lift that up. We're going to do that treble around that post. There's our treble. And now another double crochet. Now, in the corner, granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster. Now we're in the center again, so we're going to do 1 double crochet, then a treble crochet, skipping a row and grabbing the center post of the granny cluster from the row before, and then another double crochet. And now we're back to another corner. Granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster. Okay, now double crochet into the center, treble to the center of the granny cluster from the row before. And then another double crochet. And we are back to another corner. So, granny cluster, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets for your second granny cluster in the corner. And now we're back to a centerpiece. So we're going to do a double crochet, treble to the center post of the granny cluster from the row before, and then another double crochet. And now we're back to the first corner. We're going to do a granny cluster, and a half double crochet to close our corner. And there you are, the beginning of our mosaic granny spark square. Now single crochet into the corner, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets for our first granny cluster. And now double crochet, treble to the granny cluster center post from the row before, and double crochet. And again, double crochet, treble to the center post of the granny cluster from the row before, and double crochet. Now repeat this all the way around and I will meet you back here. And now we're back to the original corner, the first corner. We're doing another granny cluster. And a half double crochet to close the corner. And now single crochet, chain 2, 2 more double crochets into this corner for our first granny cluster. And then double crochet, treble to the center post of the granny cluster from the row before, and double crochet. Again, double crochet, and treble, we're going to come down and grab this post that we've already created before, and then do another double crochet. And now we're stacking those posts. I'm going to go ahead and continue around the square. Meet me back in our first corner. And finally, one last granny cluster in the corner with a half double crochet closure. And then we're going to take a look at our square here. You can continue this pattern on to make your square as large as you desire it to be. It could be a full king-size blanket if you wish it to be eventually. Or like I am doing here, I am making 8 by 8 inch squared washcloths for donation to the Stitcherhood Archway project. I hope that this tutorial has been helpful and that you enjoy this pattern as much as I do. I will be back with more soon. Love you all. Bye.